So right before we went live, you started asking me like math questions, and it's like you forgot who you were talking to.
Oh, you thought I was asking you. No, I was doing it out loud in my head, but it sounded like questions. I would never ask you.
Thank you. Because I was about to ask Lexi, that I can't call her real name while we're on live because she'll go off. And I'm like, I can ask her or Joey.
No, you know what I was doing super basic additions and subtractions, but it was like with 20s, with like tens and hundreds. And so it took me longer than a couple of seconds. And then I'm honestly, I'm not sure if I got it right or not. Like I was like, I'm up against the clock. Just pick a number, that number, go with that. And then set a timer.
I have a hot tub. I met a mom the other day that said she'll never have like a pool again until she goes, I don't need a man until I have a pool because all the pH balances. And I'm like, that's too mathy for me. Same reason I can't keep my hot tub up.
Right.
So Joe's girlfriend, Jen, put up her own above ground pool because she's awesome. Put up this, it's beautiful. And I wrote her, I'm like, what's going on with those pH balances though? Aren't those mathy? But I forget she's a teacher.
Well, they are actually, but give me my background.
They give me my background. And we were talking about my ex-husband, and I was like, you're the best thing that's ever happened to him. She's like, me? And I go, sure ain't me. I was not the best thing that ever happened to him, for sure.
I was looking at my backyard the other day. I would love a pool. I wonder if I could put a pool in the backyard.
You should get an above ground pool.
Oh, no, not an above ground. I want one in the ground.
Oh, you want like a built-in pool?
Yeah.
I'm friends with the people over at Swan Pools. We should call them and see. They'll come out and give you an estimate.
I wonder if that's something that's doable in my backyard. You've seen my backyard. I could get like a little circle pool, right? Like a little.
I don't know. It might be too small.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
I'll call Sheila today if you're serious.
I mean, it's something I can do right now. I'm
okay.
I'm in the middle of a divorce. Like I can barely get McDonald's right now.
Yeah. So since you mention it, today is car picnic day.
Yes.
And I'm like, mommy's got to see if she's even got enough money for car picnic day because I don't have that other job anymore.
That's
Before
right.
I'd be like, car picnic every day. But I have enough for car picnic today, and we get paid next week, so it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, no,
I have money in my savings. Like, I'm not that bad with money like I used to be. I have money in my savings, but I'm not taking money out of my savings for a car picnic.
You're adulting. You're adulting.
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell me that you're not going to take money out of your buff account to put in your operating account because
right? I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. When I was a bail bondsman, we had 3 costs for every bail bond. Every bail bond cost 30%, 10% to me, 10% to the company, 10% to a buff account. And I never felt more grown up than when I was like 25 and talking about moving money over to the buff account. It wasn't mine, but I'd be like, we're gonna move that over to the buff account. It's business.
I love when I put money in that account, and then when I got the Jeep, it's been dwindling, but I have to keep the money in there because I've told you before, the water around here is like highway robbery, paying for water around here. And it's every other month. And so when that hits the same time my HOA hits, because that's every quarter, woo! Oh,
I'll bet.
That takes the wind out of me, man.
I'll bet that is a
so every month I have to store away like it's another bill until it actually comes, and it's still every time.
Real talk. Like my first mortgage payment since we refied and separated everything, and now like my house is like, this house is just Ian Riley's house. There's no other name on it. My first mortgage is July 1st, and I'm going to start paying on my mortgage on June 15th. And I'm just going to pay half on the 15th, starting June 15th, and stay a month ahead on the half. Because, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I would love to say that I'm flush enough to pull out like a $1,700 mortgage, but I'm not.
Yeah, man, it gets hard.
Yeah.
My apartment in Ripon was more expensive than this place, and every month I was like, God, that hurts, man.
Yeah.
It's like $1,900. Yeah.
Yeah. So starting the 15th, I start paying my mortgage. And I'm gonna stay a half a month ahead. Just that's how I'm gonna be able to, because I've got other stuff that I do side gig wise that makes it okay. But why struggle on the 1st and 15th if you don't have to, or
right?
at least soften the impact.
And I'm hoping when we get back in the studio, we get some of those endorsements back. Somebody hit me up about an endorsement yesterday. You know, these new companies, I don't think they understand. I don't think they understand what an endorsement is. So I purchased a bracelet from this said company a couple years ago, right? Just because I liked it.
Yeah.
And they must have found it on my Insta. So they write me an Insta and they're like, we would love to send you something. And I'm like, I love things. That would be great. Then they write me back, well, we have samples, but you have to do all of this for us. No, sister, let's talk. That is not how this works.
Yeah.
No, I don't. You know what I have to do for you? Nothing to wear that bracelet. Thanks. I'll pay the $15 and we'll call it square.
You know, we get hit up a lot. We get hit up a lot for stuff like that. And
thank you. You're doing me a favor. Thank you.
Yeah. I get people that are like, hey, you know, it's a scratch each other's back thing. And sometimes I just want to be like, yeah, I don't want to scratch anybody's back though. I just want to pay for my service and move on, you know?
Yes. I had one friend do that to me for a long time. And so finally I had our sales lady, Rhonda, call her and be like, this is how much it costs to do what you want to do this? And then the friend finally was like, oh, maybe I am getting the better end of the deal. Yeah, you think? You think? Because it would have cost you a lot of money otherwise. And I'm not being cocky or anything. I'm just tired of people not knowing our value. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
Pisses me off. No. We're not doing this for fun. This is my career, bro.
I mean, I still have fun doing it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, and I like things. You guys can all keep sending me things.
Yeah, send her all the things.
What are you doing this weekend?
I think we're going to go to the Jet Museum in Atwater.
Oh, cool. Did you guys go to the science?
No, what ended up happening was I had to meet my mom
Yes,
later.
Victoria, that's a big one.
I had to meet my mom later, and then they closed from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock for cleaning. And when we were meeting my mom, I thought we were getting lunch, but the place where we were meeting was so busy that literally, like, I pulled in as she was pulling in, and we didn't even pull into the parking lot. We just pulled off to the right side of the road, and it was almost like I drove up and she threw my kid's phone in, was like, there it is. I'm like, all right, bye. And it was like that quick. So we were going to shoot over to the museum around 2, but we still had like 55 minutes to go in Lodi. And the kids were like, well, I don't want to hang out for 55 minutes, just kind of hanging out. So we're like, you want to go get some steak instead? So we went and got a $25 Max Pack at Food Max instead and went home.
Did you grill yesterday?
Yeah. What did we grill? We grilled carne asada yesterday.
Yeah. Did you just eat like carne asada steaks or did you make tacos?
No, I didn't even make tacos. I did carne asada and rice. And then I steamed some mixed vegetables and I mixed that in there with it too. And I cut it up into like little chunks. So for me, I made a rice bowl.
Well, if you have corn tortillas, has your friend made those corn tortillas or she's still being lazy?
We both have made tortillas. Not corn though. We made flour.
Okay.
They didn't turn out very well. I mean, they turned out okay.
That's something that I think that takes a lot of practice. I don't think that's like a first try thing.
Hers turned out like flat and thin, but just like flat and thin, almost like a disc. And mine turned out flat and thin, but like flat and thin, like a tortilla sandwich. Like it wasn't flat enough because there was still unflattened or uncooked tortilla.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because today, if you have leftover carne, that's perfect for tacos.
But I got lots of carne asada left over. I only cooked 2 of the strips. And then the kids were like, that looks really good, but I'd rather have a hot dog. So did you see my spread last night? No.
Dude, I did oysters and clams on the Traeger.
What were those clams in?
Okay, so I put the clams, I use the cast iron. I use a can of Rotel. I like it with the green chilies. You could just use tomatoes, diced tomatoes. White wine, which you can't use, so you can substitute that with. It
cooks out though, right?
Not all the way, but.
I've never had an issue with cooking wine. Cooking wine doesn't bother me.
Okay, white wine, and then I use the Traeger Fin and Feather seasoning in there. And, of course, garlic. And then you put them in there with the lid on until they pop.
Oh.
And butter. Oh. And then with the oysters, I did 3 of the oysters, Parmesan, not breadcrumbs. I grind it up, gluten-free pretzels because gluten-free bread is nasty and I have to be better about my gluten-free because I've been making myself extremely sick. So I did gluten-free pretzels with the Parmesan, parsley, butter. I got that and red pepper flakes from our boss lady's wife, Kelly. I did 3 of those. And then my new friend, he suggested Cholula, cilantro, lime, and butter, garlic. That one was hot. That one was the best one. So I put the garlic, the butter, the Cholula, the lime all in, melted it, put those in the oysters, and then topped it with some cilantro. Killed it! And then you know what? My daughter's like, can you just throw steak on there for me too since the grill's hot? I'm like, sure. So and then I made a steak too. And a side of mac and cheese for Joey.
I got 2 T-bones in the fridge that my son and I are going to cook tonight.
Oh, good.
How do you cook a T-bone on the grill? Is that just because I do?
Are you
like
doing gas or charcoal? I don't know anything about charcoal grill. So if you're going charcoal, that's all you.
No. It's gas. And for reference, when I do New York's, I go like high heat, 4 minutes on either side for a medium rare. I don't know bone in though.
Yeah, I do high heat. I don't do a lot of bone in.
Okay.
I don't do a lot of bone in. I don't want to give you the wrong advice.
I know because I know bone in takes a little longer, right?
Yeah, and in my opinion, it doesn't always cook as even, but it's delicious because there's so much flavoring in the bone.
Well, now we'll find out. How long do you grill a T-bone on a?
The only bone in I have done is I think tomahawks.
1 to 1.5 inch T-bone steaks at medium high heat on a gas or charcoal grill for about 6 to 7 minutes per side for medium. Flipping
that
once.
Seems like a long time to me.
No, flipping once. Okay, 6 to 7 minutes flipping once.
Total? Okay, total.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, because when I go to steak night, I get a 14-ounce New York, but that's not bone in. And I go 4-4, depending on how hot the grill is.
Yeah, I'll go between 4 and 5 on non-bone in, but then those New Yorks are thicker than the T-bones. T-bones, I mean the T-bone, these are actually pretty thick T-bones though. These are about an inch thick. Then
you're fine.
Yeah.
Then you're fine. And in my opinion, I'd rather it be raw than overcooked. So just take it off at 4 and see what happens. Take it off at 5 and see what happens.
Overcooked meat's the worst.
Ruined.
Absolutely ruined.
Yeah. So my ex-husband is vegan, but
So
the kids are not. So when they go to visit, he will try to cook what they like. So now my daughter likes flimsy bacon.
Okay.
Overcooked steaks. I didn't disown her after the bacon, which was pretty close. But she told me my steak was too red the other night.
Is she awake and dressed?
I don't know who she is anymore. Layla, come down here. Come here. We need to talk to you.
No, this is like, we need to get ahead of this. This is intervention stuff.
I know.
Like I've never questioned your parenting ever. And I understand that right now you're trying to put this off on Joe like it's his fault that she likes burnt steaks, but I'm looking at you.
No.
I'm looking directly at you.
Come here. Ian wants to talk to you. I'll have to take the headphones out.
That's
so
fine.
She can hear
That's
me.
fine. Whatever we need to do.
Okay, he wants to talk to you about your new steak love. Come here. She's a little shy.
Layla?
What?
You like a burnt steak now?
No.
No?
You told me the steak the other night was too red.
Hey, listen, girl, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
How do you like your steak cooked? Was the one I made you last night too red? That means yes. Was it too red? No. She's my shy one. To where I had my new friend the other day says, "Don't you have a daughter?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "You don't really talk about her on your show or in the stream." I go, "Oh, she is shy. She is super shy, huh?" Yeah, she's shy right now. I've been walking up the stairs. I even brought her down here.
Totally the age.
Yeah,
Sean's the same way. Jack, like if I open the door right now and it's like, "Hey, Jack, dude, go crazy on this." He'd be like, "Yeah, I got all sorts of content." Sean, go crazy. Be like, no.
That'd be Joey too. Joey, yeah, Joey too. Be all, hey.
Yeah. What's up? I call this one a bunny rabbit.
Yeah. What do you have going on this weekend?
An alligator. Wait, no, hold on. Alligator. So we're gonna do the air museum, and then I think we're gonna try and work on the backyard a little bit more again. And I think I'm gonna try and get them out there to do some metal detecting this weekend.
Ooh, I'll do that with Joey. He'll love that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm refilling the hot tub because the kids don't want it to go away yet.
Okay.
And their dad's going to be here next week for a few days. So he has to get some work done. So I have to make him some office space. But a girlfriend of mine is up in Kennedy Meadows in a cabin with her son and a bunch of his friends. So I'm going to write her today and be like, can we just come crash your party for like the day tomorrow? And I think she'll let us.
Have you been to Kennedy Meadows?
I don't think I have. Is that Pinecrest, right?
Kennedy Meadows is outstanding. My dad and I used to go there with a whole group of people every single summer. 5 years in a row we went. I love Kennedy Meadows.
Really?
In fact, one of the cabins up there, I'm sure they painted over it since, but when I was 13, this guy Phil and I were sharing a room up there, right? And then 13-year-olds make 13-year-old jokes. And so on the cabin, there was these old school cabins where you could write on pencil on the wall. And I remember, because he was a few years older than me, he wrote, "Help, I'm being trapped by a nymphomaniac and I can't get out. And every single time I try and leave, and then like the writing all like scrawled off like he was being attacked." And I was 13, and to me that was like the funniest thing I had ever read. And so in my head, these last 27 years, it's still on the wall.
No way. As soon as you left, they're like, these jerks. And I bet your parents lost their deposit.
Probably. but in my head, somebody's always walking by that thinking, wow, that's the funniest thing I've ever read on a wall.
I just saw this morning that there's a Pilates studio in Oakdale doing a hiking club, and their first one is going to be at Kennedy Meadows at the end of this month. I might go.
How far away is Kennedy Meadows from Modesto?
Probably maybe an hour, if that.
Let's see.
China, they have a lot of good fishing. Is it not?
This one says 5.5 hours. That's not right.
No, that's not right. Isn't it Pinecrest?
Let's see here.
There's no way that my friend took her son and 4 boys. No. For me,
no, it's way closer. I thought it was way closer.
Oh, no. For me, it's an hour and a half.
That's not bad at all.
For you, it is 2 hours. This is 2 hours. 120 to 108. Yeah, it looks like it's maybe a half an hour past Pinecrest.
I'm looking at Kennedy Meadows Campground, Kennedy something, California, and it's like 5.5 hours for me.
No, I'm looking at Kennedy Meadows Resort in between Dardanelle and Sonora Junction.
Okay, well, that's closer than what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at is like all the way down. Okay, yeah, this is it.
Where my friend is, yeah.
Okay, there it is. Yeah. That's the
how close is it to that Nevada border?
Not close.
I do just want to cut out to Tahoe, but I just need to do that with an adult, because when I went with the kids to Tahoe and spent 3 days, I was so excited, and they were like, "We could do this at home."
You know what?
We have a lake right down the street.
Do you remember when I went to Tahoe back in February?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend come meet me up there on my last night there, and I'm really glad I did. Like, we had a really, really good time because I spent the first couple of days there just kind of hanging out by myself. And it's like, well, I mean, this is fun, but I
think when the kids leave, I'm just going to shoot up there, go to the Lucky Beaver, which is my favorite spot, have some delicious dinner, check out their hot serving staff, and come home the next day.
Is that what it is? Like, it's not the menu, it's the staff.
It's a little of both. They serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's all delicious. They had this woman, I told you, she had those TikTok pants on that show their butt. That's the first time I've seen those TikTok pants in action. And she had this little tank top on with no bra, but she got away with it in the best way. I love women. I'm straight. But if you're not new to this show, you know that I love women. They're beautiful. She had this ball cap on, so she wasn't even trying. And she was probably one of the most beautiful women I have ever seen. Not even trying. So I'm like this, leaning over, staring at her like a dirty old woman, just looking at her. And she's showing the table, you know how they show the different cuts of steak? They bring them out raw and you choose which one you want. And her server friend behind me goes, "Checking out that meat?" Totally caught me. And I go, "Yeah, yeah." She goes, "Yeah, you are." And I'm all right, I'll get back to video poker and put my head back down.
I am.
My bad.
Not anymore. Sorry.
I'll take some chicken wings too while you're at it from her. I want her to be my server.
Oh, the staff is not on the menu? My bad. I thought I asked for it like a wine list. I thought it came on a separate piece of paper.
Oh, and then their bartenders are the women with like the beautiful one with the tats. There's one at the lube room up here. There's the blue eyes and tats. I'm like, God, get out of here, man. You guys are all gonna turn me beautiful. Anyways, so I want to go to Tahoe without the kids for those reasons.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I had it because if you go by yourself, if you don't go with another adult, then what invariably ends up happening is you go out like a couple of times, but then you just find yourself more comfortable in a home that's not yours, watching television on a couch that's not yours because you don't have to clean when you leave.
Yes.
So if somebody goes with you, you at least get out of like I got out of the house when I went and I found a skateboard on the road. I'll bet you didn't know that. In my garage is a skateboard that I found on the road in Tahoe. Wouldn't have found it if I hadn't gone out.
All right, you guys. We got to go. It's car picnic day, so I got to rush out of here.
16 minutes, and we'll have Six Flags tickets on the air.
16 minutes. We are giving away Six Flags tickets, get you out in the public, get you to know the people. Thank you, Modesto Toyota, for that. Thank you, Honey's Air and Solar, for sponsoring our live stream. Get your AC tuned up. It was cool this week. Next week, it will not be. All right. We will see you guys at 8. Bye.